This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man off. Remember that. Bad minds a disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it? Every day them see me out the road and me a fly.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Epic Battery, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
But me out no dirty. Me out clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never go just for your queen.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and the company right up until 6 p.m. It's a Tuesday, so you know we will be touching base with Grand Bahama in short order. Got C. Allen Johnson chiming in today. So for all of you C. Allen Johnson fans, C. Allen will be in for the first hour. Who love C. Allen will be in for the first hour. So we'll chop it up with him. But like I said, we're going to open up the lines as well. So if you want to chime in, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232. 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free in any one of the Family Islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go, GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Now, we will be chiming in with Grand Bahama. We'll touch base with them. But part of the conversation as well today will definitely be the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
And here's what's blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views in Madison's 1844. I'd like to send a very special happy birthday out to, one of the owners or the main owner of Fine Threads, Mr. Adam Trico. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Adam. Enjoy this and many, many more. I want you to rock out till you clock out. I know Stevette and the kids going to take good care of you. And I hope the kids give you a real good birthday smackdown. Eat up all your cake. Open up your presents before you get them. I just want you to have a great day, Adam. All right? Enjoy it to the fullest. I know you got an awesome family like I got an awesome family, so they're going to take good care of you and you're going to enjoy your day. So shout out to my good brethren, Years Without Fears, one of my main sponsors holding me down wherever I go. Adam Trico, the Trico family, and Fine Threads. Happy birthday, my brother. Enjoy this and many, many more. All right. Now, let's jump on in. Bahamas Air pilot fired. Well, it should be. After that voice note what I heard. A Bahamas Air pilot of 12 years who was at the center of a recent incident was fired from the airline following an investigation. Bahamas Air Managing Director Tracy Cooper said yesterday. On Sunday, August 31st, great day, an ATR aircraft departed from Nassau to Marsh Harbor, Abaco, with continuation to West Palm Beach, Florida, Bahamas Air said. The flight departed Nassau without issue. However, upon arrival in Marsh Harbor, the first officer advised the airline's Operation Control Center of a concern regarding cockpit dynamics and recommended in the interest of professional standards that the flight not proceed until the matter was reviewed, Cooper said. Bahamas Air Flight Operations Management acted promptly and responsibly, relieving both flight crew members of duty in accordance with standard industry practices. Relief pilots were immediately dispatched to Marsh Harbor, and the flight continued to West Palm Beach without further incident. Now, a formal debriefing, Bahamas Air received voice messages determined to be from the captain in question, which were found to be inappropriate and inconsistent with the airline's professional standards. Now, I heard the voice note. If the captain wanted to express himself, you had many other platforms and ways and opportunities. Write a letter to senior management, an email. request a meeting with the crew, to go ham, to crash out completely, not even being in the plane, and crash out on social media with that kind of voice note, what did you expect? It was going to go viral, and it's going to come back, and your wings were going to get clipped. So, at the end of the day, it's how we approach things. And especially with kids out there and in the car, it's how you approach things. Sometimes you have to engage your brain in gear before you put your mouth in motion. Now, we avoid a big commotion. You got to think what you say before you say it, and the ramifications that are going to come with it. And even if I put it in a rhyme, I've been doing it from that time because I'm a poet and you all know it. So obviously that was going to come out. So I mean, I don't know what the mitigating factors were leading up to that incident, and maybe they need to be addressed because maybe there are some issues there. But unfortunately, whether the pilot had a case or not, sending out that kind of voice note, yeah, wasn't going to work. Not a good look. Not going to be nothing positives coming out of that. All right. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and what comes out of that. Your data will be safe, says acting parliamentary commissioner. I mean, just because he's safe, my data could be safe. That mean it could be safe? How it could be safe? As the effort continues to implement biometric voters' cards and electronic polling, Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson yesterday assured Bahamians that their data will be safe. We have a privacy law. We have data protection in the country, he said. We met with the data commissioner 2 weeks ago, and we're ensuring that the data from the biometrics are secured. The public has nothing to worry about. Their data, with respect to their data being exposed to the public at large. You all really trying to sell me on this security, man? Y'all really going above and beyond to convince me that this can be secure. An amendment to the Parliamentary Elections Act to introduce biometric voters' cards, e-poll books at polling stations, periodic photo verification exercises, and enhanced data security protocols passed in Parliament last month. So let's keep an eye on that, see where that goes. BPL employees not switching to BGC over pension concerns. CPA Regional Conference opens. Cooper says no boundaries report before House reconvenes. Ministry of Education working to address staff shortages. And Bahamas Air hopes to add another plane to its fleet next month. Now, a couple of things before we get to the break. First and foremost, can somebody let me know officially what the deal is? Why I see pictures of all them pike trucks parked up? What's going on there? To me, that looked like a total pack up, and let's get up out of here kind of move. What's going on? Anybody got any information for Uncle Naughty? Enlighten me. I need to know what's going on with that. And then second of all, out of Fox Hill, I told you could be a rumble in Fox Hill, right? Well, round one has definitely been sounded off. Obviously, Mr. Fred Mitchell is all in his feelings that Dr. Fox, the F&M candidate, is doing after-school snacks for the kids of Fox. Juices, soft drinks, fruits, so on and so forth. I think it's a good idea after school you get a snack. Some of those kids don't have that to go home to. So that's a good thing. Now, the problem I have with this situation is Mr. Mitchell got his knickers in a knot, got his undies in a bunch, because Dr. Fox is doing this. So much so to the point that he can put out voice notes, and I'm double checking to see the stationery, because we like to fake news on government stationery. I know how we do it. But according to what's been released, allegedly it comes from his desk, he's all up in arms about Dr. Fox giving these kids hot dogs and chips and sweets. He's all up in arms about the sugar intake for these children. But this the same Fred Mitchell, and that's why I call him a silly septuagenarian, who had a back to school on August 30th in Fox Hill, and who on the video serving up more cotton candy than Mr. Mitchell. And I talking big balls of cotton candy, big whiffs of cotton candy. And handing them out. What got more sugar than cotton candy? All right? Now, Mr. Mitchell, you really shouldn't talk about sugar intake either. Because rumors been swirling for years about sugar and your Kool-Aid. So you really should, really shouldn't go there. what you should do is step up your game. It's obvious you don't have a cakewalk in Fox Hill like you had anymore. You got some real serious competition on multiple levels. And we need to see who the best Foxillian is in this. We need to see, when the dust settles, who the better man was. So at the end of the day, put on your big boy pants, Mr. Mitchell. Stop crying. Stop running the social media with your keyboard warrior. And do better in your constituency. And deal with competition. Because obviously, Dr. Fox got... Anyhow, that's a wrap right there on your headlines. We'll take a quick break. Flip side of the break, we'll head to Grand Bahama. We'll chime in. I think Sarah Kirkby's going to chime in. I think C. Allen Johnson will be chiming in. And we'll continue the Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads right out.
But me are no dirty. Me are clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never grudge you for your queen. Me are no dirty. Me are clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never grudge you for your queen. Remember, say, no man is an island. The only man is an island.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 30223.
Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
You know that one sandwich that's lived in your head rent-free? It's back! The crispy barbecue bacon sandwich, everything crunch. KFC's bringing all the flavor you love with barbecue sauce, crispy onions, cheddar, bacon, and a juicy extra large filet, all on a buttery toasted brioche bun. It's messy, it's mouth-watering, it's made to crunch. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So I some dirty nigga bad mind me for it. Every day them see me out the road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor so me have me one a glass. Girl them sexy and me clothes them so sharp. So who no like me style tell a boy fit your craft. So them a watch everything and me a wear. Them no see the hard work when me do for me.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. We're going to head down to Grand Bahama like we do each and every Tuesday. We're going to touch base with Sarah Kirkby and C. Allen Johnson's joining us today. As you know, Darren Cooper, a regular contributor on Tuesdays. He's got plenty things going on. Grand Bahama blowing up, got a new radio show, got a new business. So we would definitely try to coordinate with Darren to get him back on and, get him in regularly contributing as he always does. But right now, for the moment, until we can figure it out, we got C. Allen chiming in. And like I said, we always hear from Sarah Kirkby. Sarah's going to get us caught up with everything going on with the ground. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. I got to deal with GNN. GNN on the line. What's going on, GNN?
We don't hate you. You're just naughty by nature.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Well, the headlines. That's what's going on, man. I like the clip with the cat fight in Foxer.
Fighting over the hot dogs and the sweets, eh?
Huh?
Fighting over the hot dogs and the sweets, eh?
Well, the word hot dogs probably just piqued some people's curiosity in that fight.
I think sugar is the operative word in that.
Well, you already saying succinctly, but what unless they was sugarless cotton candy, all kind of sugar shooting around there. You know what I mean? But I just called to say, Dr. Nicholas Fox, the Bahamian people love themselves some Dr. Fox money.
It seems like Dr. Fox got Mr. Mitchell's waters running there, GNN. This is the scariest I've seen Mitchell in years.
Listen to me. Dr. Nicholas Fox is the most realest candidate, if I can say that word, to run against Fred Mitchell. He can beat Fred Mitchell bad because every dog, cat, and butterfly had to pass through Dr. Fox's hands in this town at least once or twice, including GNN and Patel Koku. You know that Patel Koku loved Dr. Fox back in the day. So I don't know how Mitchell got, but Mitchell shouldn't worry. No, because Mitchell's 70-something, eh?
He need to go into that political retirement, man. He need to enjoy retirement.
He's 70. Yeah, he's 70-something. So Dr. Fox should be the least of his worries. And I can tell you, Dr. Mitchell can't wear Dr. Fox's wife body yours, let alone Dr. Fox shoes.
And on that, GNN, go and sin no more because Joker's close and you throwing fastballs and I looking fastball right now. And we need Erica calling. Thank you very much. Have a great day, GNN. GNN is my boy. But GNN, that is Jinx number one. But he will float it out there. And boy, sometimes I gotta, like I say, send them quick messages from my brain to my mouth because that comedian kicks in real quick. All right. Excuse me. So with that being said, let's get down to Grand Bahama. Let's get caught up. We got Sarah and Seattle. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, Seattle? Good to hear from you. Do we have Sarah in as well?
She might be
I'm on.
All right, there we go. So, Sarah, I hope all is well. Why don't you bring us up to snuff real quick with everything that's going on in the Grand Bahama news?
All right, Donna, nice to talk to you. And C. Allen, lovely to have you on. So we are on our digital newsletter, which if you do not have it, you can find it on our Facebook page under Grand Bahama 242 News, 242 News Grand Bahama. And we've got some great news going on. We had the opening of the schools. The Holmes Rock Junior High School opened, and so we had a story on there all about that. You can see what's happening and with how the school openings went all over Grand Bahama for the public schools. We also highlighted a story about the Grand Lacayan. We're still not clear as what's happening with the Grand Lacayan, and everybody really is would love a real proper update on this. As much as possible, including the airport, which I understand is now being touted that it's going to be financed by a different group. It was mentioned by former Minister Leslie Miller, I believe, about.
But Sarah, hold on.
Saudi Arabia.
Haven't we established, and Seattle, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't we established that a loan was taken from a British company? Of which 400 million of that was going to be facilitated to refurbish and redo and manage the Grand Bahama Airport?
Yes.
And
so
there
where's that 400 million going?
It was also hinted that a possible loan, I think from the Saudis or something, was also coming.
Right. That's what was referred to in the news segment that I watched. and I didn't realize. I thought we were going with the British one. I thought that was all done, and so I thought we were straight. So, yeah, it was. I just want clarity, to be quite honest. Really.
So now it's down to either a Saudi group or an initial British group that was involved originally. It's down to those two groups, or now is it outright the Saudi group?
I don't know. I have no idea, and as well as with the hotel, which a lot of us understood was shutting down in August, and they had stopped taking reservations. They are now taking reservations until the end of the year, and are hiring people again. So we do not know what's happening.
Taking reservations till the end of the year, but what about airlift? What about airport? What about all of that? How that ties into where we're going for the big picture?
That's what we're waiting to hear from, and we're hoping to get an update. We do not have one.
See, Alan, this sounds like a little bit of all buck up go to me. Like let it ride till the wheels fall off. So we got to keep an eye on that, though. But obviously, you know, we continue to get talks and stories from the Grand Lucan, but we don't get any real concrete answers.
No, and I think that's something we need. We just have to have some. I don't know if it's a girl thing, and I like to be over communicated to. But I, for one, and I know the rest of Freeport would like a proper update of what's happening. And you can, and it's the talk all over town. Everybody just wants to know what's going on, you know?
Well, the airport is extremely important because you already heard the hotel owner says it's imperative for their strategy. But what also happens with the airport is that the throughput that's needed to substantiate the loan is somehow not being discussed. And that is almost, if you look at the standards that's set by other airports, including the ones in the Bahamas, we would need about a throughput of about 11 to 13,000 people. If you could round it up to 15,000 people per week to pass through the airport. The problem is that when you start talking about that, there has to be a greater strategy, because if you were to even have 10,000 people per week to come to Grand Bahama, we don't have that much cars and abandoned buildings to hold them. And I know we don't have that much hotel rooms.
We don't have the hotel rooms. That's the problem. Yeah, and that's where we're struggling.
Right, and so there has to be, and so a number of years, no one has ever come to Grand Bahamians, because when I talk to Grand Bahamians, the ecosystem is that, you know, other than this hotel and Celebration Key, no one is talking to Grand Bahamians as to the possibilities or how they could be integrated in developing a destination to be able to accommodate what is going to be necessary to finance the airport. And so the airport seemed to me, for me, it's a promise that will not be fulfilled. Or we'll have to carry the costs of that. That 1% was that would make it about $2-3 million a month just for the airport, not counting other auxiliaries. The government have to assume to carry that cost of that loan in absence of not having the throughput through to the airport. But I would tell you, though, the airport would be a better deal than the $1.5 million we're spending for the hotel. You know, I'd rather spend $1.5 million to have an airport that can facilitate new businesses and new attractions to do more than the hotel what we have now, or even the 300 or 400 rooms that's going to happen. Because then you can have a wider conversation, which I guess we'll get to, Sarah, concerning this arbitration that we need to know what's now, what's new, and what's next after this happens, as to what's going to do.
I think, you know, unfortunately, we're stuck in this, you know, what comes first, the chicken or the egg situation. Right. It comes up every time. We've got one person believes it's more important for the hotel because you need places for these people to stay, and then other people will tell you, oh, and you don't need the airport. They'll come in no matter what, as long as you have places for them to stay. And then other people will say, oh, no, we need the airport and if you don't have the airport, you're not going to have the hotel room. So it's a catch-22. I'll be quite honest with you. I just want both of them sorted out.
I think it's a catch-33, because we need things for them to do. Because when you have that much people coming in, we need expansion on restaurants, things to do. It's a whole lot of things. And so
I think that will come as well. And this is the other thing, you know, I end up every time in the meeting, and you know about it as well. And Naughty's been very good at allowing us to talk about it, is also the shipyard. The shipyard is a huge $600 million project, and you cannot expect a ship to come into this yard with a crew that it will have to carry up, I presume, 500 to 1,000 people. And then if those people have to get off the ship and fly back home because their ship's being repaired for 3 to 4 weeks, how are we going to get them off the island? We don't have enough flights. We only have 3 flights a day that possibly, and not 2 right now, because American Airlines isn't flying here until October. I mean, these are important things that we need to get sorted out. And I just think we just need a base of communication, not Band-Aids on stuff. We just need to know what's going on. I think people would feel better. I want the deal with Concord Wilshire to be done. I think it's amazing. The pictures look fantastic. I'm not going to sit there and nitpick at everything. I just want something to happen. And I think the rest of Grand Bahama does as well.
All right. I mean, we're going to have to obviously keep an eye on this because that story is still playing out. We talked to Roscoe Thompson last week about, the Dorian anniversary. And obviously I see that you guys have done some 6 years on remembering Dorian. Reckoning with the aftermath. How is Grand Bahama 6 years later?
I think we're still struggling. And the editorial we wrote about it was just that saying that, as much as it was nice that we did a moment where we talked about it, I don't feel it was impacted enough in the islands where it happened. And I think, it really has affected people mentally very hard. And, coming back from that and still struggling with situations that we're talking about now with the air, this is our airport that's still destroyed from Dorian and our hotel that's still not good from the 2 hurricanes before that. So this is, and I don't think we paid enough attention to it. And I'm one of the people who probably don't. You forget what you go through. And every time there's a hurricane warning, people here, they mentally change because you can see it in them. It's scary. And there are people still recovering. We did a story about people in Sweeting Sea that are still rebuilding their homes. They are not even at 50% of where they used to be. So it is a real thing for people, and I thought it needed more attention than it got. And I was just disappointed about it.
Yeah, I would agree with you because, Naughty, believe it or not, going back to 2004, going down from West End to other places, I know places that still literally have tops from literally 20 years. And so what you have now is you have DRM and others who have talked about these small home repairs. And you've heard them use numbers between 4,000 to a few thousand more. And then maybe here where we're going to be fixing 20 homes, 40 homes. In fact, New Providence has got more money allocated to it for small home repairs than Grand Bahama has, who was in the direct path of the hurricane. And so, but one of the greatest things we need is I guess the combination of things for this economic growth. The individuals can be able to afford their homes, so they don't have. Afford to repair their homes, so they don't have to look over to Grand Bahama. There's some people are moving away from the employment line, and some people are getting on the line. But it's just sufficient for their survival, not for the repairs they need. And then now there's an impact of energy costs in their homes, and so basically we have we have is home housing costs and energy costs. Those that could very easily take 70% of individuals' income. And then now where less and less of affordable housing is happening, I think we need a strategy for affordable housing as well as the additional rooms we need for the bed and breakfasts. And so I think Grand Bahama needs to have a conversation. I'm still an advocate for what they call it, ascension or whatever they call it where you live. They're just the whole plateau in the Little Bahama Bank. We have some form of autonomy, autonomy. And so I'm hoping that
that's the strength of local government coming back, right. And I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that one of the things that we as Grand Bahama is going to have to do, and I guess you guys in New Orleans going to notice, is that after the 2 weeks of this this discussion that's going on with arbitration.
The arbitration.
We will have a conversation on whether we're going to carry you all with us or just leave you all behind.
The arbitration that's not allowed to be talked about or discussed.
Yes, there you go.
Close court.
The Oxford Creek Agreement is between the licensee, the Port Authority, and the people. Okay?
Yeah.
And the people.
It is. But I think, Alan, I think you and I have that frustration with stuff because please don't get me mad with all the people in Nassau, but a lot of people in Nassau don't understand how it works. And they make these sweeping statements like, we can just change it like that. You can't. It's a binding agreement. It would have to have a referendum to change.
Yeah, but in all fairness, we do have people in Nassau who know how the agreement works. And if we don't, we married a brilliant woman from Grand Bahama who knows how it works. So we know how it works.
No, but here's the problem is, right? One of the problem is that the Oxford Creek Agreement is statute law. Do you know you don't change law, you amend it. Now, we have to have a conversation concerning this 29 years left because we're going to have to go to very easily 50 years or more to make it attractive for the new economies that exist in the world today, for data centers and technologies and such. And so we have to have a conversation really as to a major plan. And remember, the government of the Bahamas has taken the lead and taken the position that they govern Freeport, and Freeport is not, at least this administration of Freeport is not a separate state. But the government hasn't put together a strategy for which Freeport could align with, because they're not going to seemingly allow Freeport to be grander than them. And so that's where the problem is. So you hear that you're saying that Freeport is not doing anything, but I don't have I would love to make some recommendations to align with the government national strategy for the Bahamas or Grand Bahama. There's none exists. And so there we are. We are, like, did you say the egg or the chicken or the egg? We wait in Freeport. And so I trust me, the licensees, if we were to get together and give them some form of autonomy, along with the governance that's given under the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, there's probably going to be nobody left in Nassau. Just remember that Singapore is only about 30 square miles larger than Freeport, and we have the same potential to hold the 6 million people. And so we would give you all an opportunity by bringing them to an organized city, and you'll have a chance to rebuild Nassau for those ghettos you'll have.
See, Alan. Yeah, you got jokes today, boy. Yeah. You all been 1-2 Hawksbill High tournaments too many, boy, and it's go right to your head.
So, but Naughty, the problem is that you always only hear from Grand Bahama as a side note. We don't hear a consistent conversation about what Grand Bahama needs are. It's like, the airport is soon coming. We're working on it. The hotel, soon, very soon, coming soon. And then you hear where the straw vendors are waiting. And I heard the Minister of Tourism almost like saying, a conversation that's saying like, oh, this is a normal reset, and hopefully more people will leave the Celebration Key, And I'm glad Celebration Key gives us the numbers, and hopefully we could begin to do some marketing to those individuals directly, or so they can actually reconsider Grand Bahama as a stopover visit. But the question is, what exactly is the strategy that tourism has for Grand Bahama than simply seeing the same old small Gombe festivals and whatever else? We need a major vision when you look at the potential of Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama could easily add an additional $1 billion a year to the GDP of the Bahamas. And if we are sincere, but maybe the problem is, Naughty, think about this.
100%.
If you fix Grand
Naughty,
Bahama...
I'm agreeing with C. Allen on this one.
Naughty, we're recording this show today, but we're keeping this for the archives.
Yeah, boy.
Naughty, think about this. Do you know it's a political position? Let me ask you, Naughty. 20-something seats in New Providence, 5 in Grand Bahama. If you fix Grand Bahama and 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 people come here for the jobs and opportunity, what happens? The power shifts to Grand Bahama, because now chances are we'll have just equal to or greater amount of seats. So the total collective Outer Island seats would exceed New Providence seats. So we have to pay attention that sometimes you have to question, is the stifling of Grand Bahama a deliberate control for keeping control in New Providence? And then you have this thing. If the Grand Bahama Port Authority was act as an autonomous municipality the way it was intended, without interferences, so we could we can follow the laws of the country, right, and the policy of the country, but where we can make decisions for us fast, quick, in a hurry, we could actually move Grand Bahama forward and get some things done. I've been talking about technology. The embassy talking about technology, and other people around the world is talking about the potential of the Bahamas as technology. Guess what? It all starts here. Where does the REV and all of their cable land? Right here on Grand Bahama. So we have the potential to grow. The question is, why aren't we being allowed to grow? And I put it to you, it's all about leadership. I think we need leadership that understands Grand Bahama.
Text off the text line, and I told you, you're always getting credit around of Nassauvians. Good afternoon, Naughty. Great show. Could you please ask Sarah and C. Allen if they still have the Base Out International Bazaar in Freeport? Eyesore of all eyesores.
Do we still have the what?
The bazaar. Eyesore of all eyesores.
We have pieces of it. We
Yes.
had about 75% of the bazaar, except for the shopping hallway.
Okay.
I put about 75% of it.
That's
but
not
we're
70%,
still-
but be clear, that's not 75% that anyone can go into.
No,
it's falling apart, and it's still there.
Right. It's like, you ever seen a deserted town? Like, if you don't lean
It
on
is
the
the
wall.
eyesore of all eyesores.
Right. It's an
That
eyesore.
person nailed it.
So, all right. Basically, the text says if you guys replied yes, then please remind them. Don't say anything about our little ghetto properties here in Nassau, as long as you got that still sitting right there.
Hey, tell you what, we'll give you one of your ghetto for the bazaar.
No, I want Hugh Campbell Trophy, Sea Island. I don't want no bazaar, and I don't want no ghetto property. I want Hugh Campbell back in New Providence, where it belongs.
But understand,
It's such a shame because that place could be so amazing.
Yes, Naughty, let me say this to you, right? We have talked about 27 economic models. If you look at 500 jobs in each of those economic models.
We still got Sea Island, or did he drop? Double check that for me.
No, I'm sorry about that. I'm saying, Naughty.
Yes, he's on.
We got 27 different economic models, right? But what happens is if you put 500 people in each of those economic models. So we talk about the digital economy, the conceptual economy, the data economy, the orange economy, the green economy, the Aqua 27 models. Just put 500 people in each of those models with no duplications of jobs. Now, that's what 13,000 jobs. What if you then now start saying we have three of these people in this job and 3 of these people in this job? And so you could see very easily 50, 60, 70,000 jobs in Grand Bahama. And these jobs all start at the livable wages with skills that require less than 6 months to a year for included. I haven't talked about the top jobs of the technology and things that have to do with a major build out. And so I'm simply saying is that if we have people who can do more than talk about a conception, and I think if Freeport was to be allowed to self-govern with its citizens, with its licensees, with the Port Authority and whatever incarnation we may have it, the Bahamas would be surprised that we will become the jewel of the Caribbean like we once were. And so we don't have these conversations in context of what Freeport have. You know, we have this immigration issue right now, but nobody wants immigration reform like the Grand Bahama Port Authority and those of us on Grand Bahama that understands the foreign input we need. All we have to do is adjust the laws to accommodate and protect citizenship or whatever it is that we want. But we can't build Grand Bahama or even the Bahamas with the intellectual capital we have. We talk about Singapore, we talk about Norway, we talk about Taiwan, we talk about all of these imported intelligentsia, but we don't make room for them to come, live, play, do whatever it is in the Bahamas. I say Grand Bahama because it's the best place. We have the infrastructure here that we can build upon. We have the ability to go vertical, everything else. So we are ready to go for 70 years.
We are ready, and we need stuff happening for us. Right. I think you lose us a lot of the time, sweetheart, when you talk about some of the things. But he is right. We do need more housing. We're going to need this with Carnival and Celebration Key and other things coming our way. So we need these other assets. But again, we keep referring back to the original ones. So anything you can do, Naughty, to get it happening, we'd appreciate it.
Man, I need it to get happening, man. I got plans for Grand Bahama myself. Until I get it popping, I can't do nothing.
Naughty.
They definitely got some plans for Grand Bahama.
Hey, are you and MJ? I got some. I got some beachfront property. I want to point you to, right? Maybe Sarah could help you buy it. But I can tell you, we got plenty of waterfront property for you and MJ to park your yacht.
I want something on the canal.
That's what
we got that. We got that.
We got miles. No. We don't have feet. We have miles of canals for you.
We have miles of the Venice Canal, and we got 40 miles of beaches, so we're ready for you all the way.
I appreciate you referring to my little skiff known as the SS Gilligan as a yacht. I appreciate that.
Love it.
No, but I appreciate hearing from you guys and getting us caught up because obviously we need to know what's going on down there. And we like to obviously hear New Providence from all walks in Grand Bahama so we know exactly where, we stand. One more thing, I see the local government, they had a full training session, correct?
Yes, they did. They had a full training session at Pelican Bay. And the other one I wanted you to point out, and I'd really like you to stay on this because this is something that I think you are very good at talking about and making it happen. I know it was a big thing. It was about the garbage pileup at the Rand Memorial Hospital. You can read about this. Dr. Dwayne Sands brought it to everybody's attention. it is being. We understand it is being cleaned up, but until it happens, we must make sure this is done. It is a horrible health hazard, and we have to get this sorted out.
I don't know who got more garbage piled up, the RAN or the PMH.
Yeah, we understand it's being worked on. We're hoping to get this sorted out. It has got to be done, and it's terrifying. When everybody saw it, I think everyone was just in shock.
At least Dr. Darwell is consistent. He sucked as Minister of Grand Bahama, and he sucks as Minister of Health.
But let me say, but Naughty, just quickly, when you talk about data protection, I just want the people to know that on this voting biometric thing, biometric data in the current law is not explicitly recognized as a special category. And as such, the true aspect of data protection and what they're saying does not exist. It doesn't even exist for the passport under the current law. And this is why you saw the government introduce a new data law that still does not address it in its fullest complexity. And I think, so you could say, I could say right now, and I want challenge. We are weak on explicit biometric safeguards for any information, even for the ones we currently give to the passport and other different places. And so don't let it go. But just let me end it for my Grand Bahama. I just want you to know, ain't no place in the Bahamas you can live, work, study, play, visit, explore, invest, dine, and shop like Grand Bahama. Smart home, smart businesses, smart community, smart city. You can't beat it.
Good stuff, guys. I appreciate hearing from both of you. We got to get
that sounds like a great commercial.
we got to get to the break, and we'll do it again next Tuesday. But Sarah and Cialan, I appreciate your contributions.
Thank
We got to get to the break now, and we'll do it again next Tuesday. All right, keep it right. We got it. The Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it? Every day them see me out the road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor so me have me one a glass. Y'all them sexy and me clothes them so sharp. So who no like me style tell a boy fit your car.
Valia, I can see when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste what we love. Barbecue, spicy and original, flavorful, crispy, irresistible. 3 piece with the fries and a Pepsi. Go get your one big deal, stop stress me. All when we dip on the toilet, no left foot. Anything for the taste of a juicy, crunchy, irresistible KFC big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries and Pepsi. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island. Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Nothing beats a Chickchani Challenge. On September 27th, we're bringing the action, a 5K course packed with 20 thrilling obstacles. Start and finish at Fusion Superplex with energy, fun and excitement all around. First time? No problem. Try the Chickchani Lite version, built just for beginners. Got kids? Ages 3 to 7 can take on their very own Chickchani Kids Challenge. And this year, we're turning 10. So grab your team, mark your calendar, and come celebrate with us. Visit chickchanichallenge.com to sign up to Fusion Superplex, Guardian Radio 96.9, Kalina, RBC, Advantage Insurance, Party Pilots Rentals and Events, Fincastle Media Group, Powerade, Click, and Art of Graphics.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it? Every day them see me out the road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor so me have me one a glass. Girl them sexy and me clothes them so sharp. So who no like me style tell a boy fit your craft. So them a watch everything and me a wear. Them no see the hard work when me do for me career. But them a wonder how me things them so weird. Them want kill me for the carry me a steer. But me heart no dirty, me heart clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty.
We're back at ya on the Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and the company right up until 6 p.m. And let me check the text lines real quick. And I tell you, some of y'all bad mind, you know, y'all really like a joke, y'all like to get off. I am not reading some of these texts. I'm not. Y'all are not gonna jinx me for Erica to call me. They ain't gonna call you, they can call me. I will say, listen, the play on words has been very funny. Some of y'all got some really good jokes. Y'all have me laughing. But let me read this one. Good afternoon, Naughty. Mr. Mitchell should not talk about Dr. Fox. Fred needs to stop feeding, especially the little boys, cotton candy and Fox Hill. I saw the video. So I think Mr. Mitchell put his foot in his mouth with that sugar comment. But I don't see what the deal is. I don't see what the big deal is. If you're from that community and you know kids need food on the way home and you're willing to set up an after-school program at your constituency out of your pocket, nobody should really criticize that because you're making an effort to bridge the gap. It'd be interesting to find out how many of them kids going home every day are hungry. They may not have a meal when they get home. So look at it for what it is. But I could do a little mini poll. We got a couple minutes left before we get to the break. Text me or call in and let me know who you all see winning that big fight in Fox Hill, Dr. Fox or Mr. Mitchell. Because you can see all of the stops being pulled out on the organs. Naughty, good afternoon. Please check out the ambulance that was delivered to Long Island by Dr. Darble. Okay, I can double check that one. Is it a stick shift? Don't tell me they can't drive stick shift. I know plenty of fellas in Long Island who can drive. So we definitely got to keep an eye there. For sure. But hit me up and let me know. Let me check the text line. Naughty Dr. Fox with a first round KO. Dr. Fox. Naughty, you know Mr. Mitchell ain't gonna let that go just like that. You know, until I see different, I gotta say Mr. Mitchell. You know he's one of the craziest players in the game. You used the word crazy. Other people use another word. But hey, that's okay. It's all good. That's your word, not mine. But, like I said, that's going to be an interesting race. And I'll be honest with you, this is very uncharacteristic of Mr. Mitchell this early in an election season, in a silly season, before the PLP has even ratified their candidates. For him to have his waters flowing so over Dr. Fox in Fox Hill. You got to look at it for what it is. That, to me, reeks of fear. Like his water's running. Let me check the text lines again. Naughty Fred is gone. He's going to be outfoxed. You all got your talks down today, I swear. Anyway, 4:58 p.m. is the time. Don't forget, we will be taking that break in the 5 o'clock hour to take care of the news at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Then in the 5 o'clock hour, we will be talking sports. And speaking of sports, I want to remind you guys, and we had a great turnout for the reintroduction in the inaugural broadcast of the Press Box on Guardian Radio on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We do it each and every world. Mega and, of course, Sancho Statboy will be in the building. We have some other rotating contributors that'll chime in. So we're going to cover all of your Major League sports, and we got lots to talk about. All right, this week we got baseball, Major League Baseball getting ready for the playoff races. You got WNBA playoff races lining up, and you got the NFL back in full swing. So lots to talk about this week on the Press Box, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio. Be sure to check us out. Let's check the text lines again. Naughty, Fred may have a home field advantage in Fox Hill, but I still think Fox is going to get in and get a win. Naughty, so why doesn't Mitchell's constituency office offer or cater to hot dogs or other food for the little darlings of Fox Hill? Correct. Do something about it. All he doing is getting all upset, beating me gum up over hot dog and sugar. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I know it's happening. Mr. Producer hit me with the music. I got to get to the break. Flip side of the break will be in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking sports. Pearlie will be in the building. Keep it right. Me got it. The Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads continue.
Clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. Me heart no dirty. Me heart clean. Clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. Remember, say, no man is a island.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it? Every day them see me out the road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor, so me have me one a glass. Girl them sexy and me.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Epic Battery, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
Me are clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty, me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. Me heart no dirty, me heart clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty, me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. Remember, say, no man is a island. The only man who is a island, a key man. Remember. So each one help one. So it no make sense your bad mind and next man. Sure the gang go best already and him have a next one. And no nothing that if you not have one. Your friend get a youth already know him get a next one. And no nothing that if you not get one. Go look at your and try build a foundation. Bad mind for that before the next generation. Play this like your dance all up on your radio station. To all the real people this is a real song. Me heart no dirty, me heart clean. Clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty, me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. Me heart no dirty, me heart clean. Clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty, me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. So tell them say, fight for Jamaica cause the world is mine. From them time until now, Beenie Man still a shine. Oh no, check the stats and no safe from line. For me bad mind people are waste of time. Because me work hard for me money, money. So me days are head bright and sunny, sunny. Sing.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty in your company right up until 6 p.m. Pearlie will be joining us in short order if he hasn't joined in already. Pearlie, you there?
I'm right here in this corner.
Hey, that's what I call timing, buddy.
Yep. I was kind of listening, you know.
There you go. Listen, what's your take? I got to ask you this, man. We got to kind of put this in the sports category because I feel we can end up with a fisticuffs in the Fox Hill constituency. Water's running hot and water's flowing in Fox Hill. Who you got in that race, Pearlie? If this was like a boxing match, Dr. Fox versus
I went to St. Augustine's, but both men went to St. Augustine's. I graduated with Nicholas Fox, so he's been a friend of mine for over 50 years. I would support him and always support him, so he's got my support. And that ain't got nothing to do with the political side of it. That's friendship.
All right, so if we put them in the ring, though, who could win, Doc or Fred?
Nick know a little bit of karate. I think Nick will kick his butt.
Anyway, you know, all of y'all been tempting me all day with these setups. You know, Joker's Wild is close and I'm enjoying retirement. Don't do it, Pearlie. Don't do it.
Nick will beat him bad.
You throw it like Lasorda throwing batting practice back in the day. Just throwing fastballs.
But you know, when you have to make a comment, the man went out there and taking it upon and you know, it's nothing new that what he's doing. St. Anselm's Church, where both him and I attend, they do breakfast for the kids in the mornings. So I think he only thought it's fitting that, listen, these kids coming home, a lot of them go to school with no lunch, so they whatever the programs they on or whatever lunch they get from St. Anselm's, they go, and when they come home, you know, come on, you did the same thing on the park. When you was giving out liquor, he ain't giving out liquor, he giving out a drink. And
we got a lot of
tips.
We got a lot of hungry Bahamians, and a lot of people don't know who's hungry. So
But the
you
thing
never
about
know
it is,
what that's going to mean to somebody who needs
something
it.
petty like that. We have more problems in our country than worrying about if he gives children a hot dog. Come on, man, for real?
Yeah, like we need a Freedom of Information Act, and he has blatantly
Exactly.
said he on that run on multiple levels.
I mean, where that millions of dollars spent on that Carmichael project. Talk about that. Let's talk about some other things that have been done. Let's talk about the problem we having with human smuggling. You know, let's talk about some things that is going on in our country. Let's deal with immigration. Let's deal with some real problems other than worrying about who give hot dog out.
Let me ask you this though, and then we can get into sports, right? I hear Philip, Mr. Davis, has the Prime Minister is out of the country again.
Yeah, Ethiopia, I think it is.
Now, my question is, I know it's for the Africa CARICOM convention. Is that what it is?
I think it's just to guard up them freedom, them flyer miles, and when you lose, you could be traveling for free.
But my question is, we have a robust Rastafarian community in this country, correct? You and I both know plenty members of said robust Rastafarian community.
Couple I went to school with, couple I grew up with, yeah.
And before I get into this, I want to say blessed love to all of my Rastafarian brethren and sisters in the 242. This has nothing to do with you, but it has to do with the PM. For all of the Rastafarians who this administration recruited, you know, with the marijuana bill, which is still incomplete, which is still lacking, which still needs to be rectified.
It's still only medicinal, which is still only medicinal for medical use. So it ain't
no recreational.
No, they did do credit with credit. They did do Sacramento. Did take into account the Rastafarian community, but that's it.
Right. No, you said. What did you say? You said recreation was the only thing left. I know it was medicinal, and I know they had addressed Sacramento.
That's it. No recreational. You know, no. You know, you could get caught with a small amount, but you still got to pay a fine. You know, come on, really?
I think if you're gonna decriminalize it, you cannot do it without it being medicinal, Sacramento, and recreational.
Well, I know you've done a lot of studying on it, but simple. Let's look at what Jamaica does, and let's play copycat. Come on. Simple.
No.
I know you've done that.
If you want to look at models, right? Then you need to look to like South America. Look at Argentina.
All right.
And their model.
I know, like I said, I know you've done some work on it, some studying on it, but I'm saying this to be simple. Right next door, right south of us, you know, see what they do.
And they still have some issues there, but at least it's off and running. It's off the ground.
Yeah. And let it be clear, I don't think that we should legalize it at this point, but I think we should decriminalize it and review it in 3 to 5 years and say, view.
But back to the point I agree with you there. Back to the point I was making. All the Rastafarians we know, they could not have shown our Prime Minister a picture of Selassie, a picture of Selassie's tomb. I mean, if he would have stayed around in one of the camps with some herbal tea, they probably would have let him talk to Selassie. But
that one almost went over my head.
But at the end of the day, why you got to go all the way to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to take a picture at Selassie's tomb with nonetheless North Luther MP Sylvanus Petty?
Yeah.
Now, what's that? Is that like the parting gift? Like on The Price is Right? Here's your parting gift for not running in the next election. Here you go. Let's look at Ethiopia.
A trip to Ethiopia.
Now,
I know one thing. You know my old saying, any guys, they got some really beautiful women in Ethiopia.
Well, thank you for just throwing that in there out of left field, Pearly. We appreciate that. My question would be, though, they spent over $1 million on the last trip to COP 29, I think it was, in Azerbaijan. All right, and had $150,000 like food budget. What's the price on this trip since we paying for it?
Holy camoli!
And you know what's scary?
But you have vendors. You have vendors who are complaining.
COP 30 coming up in November, and guess where it is? In Brazil. You know Felipe and crew going down there. Samba, 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 tanga, tanga, tanga. Goal! Samba, samba,
Well,
samba.
There may be a World Cup qualifying game going on then too. You know, Brazil has probably one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, but why we got to go to COP every year? You know how much that can cost to go to COP in Brazil? And that could potentially be the last trip on frequent flyer miles before election. You know that bill can get cha-ching.
Yeah.
Everybody in the mall going on that trip.
A lot of these trips the PM go on a minister or a permanent secretary really could do, you know. But It is
Or
what
how
it
about
is.
some Zoom meetings?
Oh, yeah. Didn't COVID teach us how to do that?
Anyway, let's talk sports, Pearly. We got Wednesday and Thursday to talk about this foolishness. And did you watch the game last night?
I watched a bit of it. I was more into my Dodgers, so I just flipped back and forth a little bit. I was just anxious. The Dodgers needed a win, and I was glad that we got it. But
one thing I learned last night, I learned two things last night. I partially learned it on Sunday, and it was reaffirmed last night, that the Detroit Lions are going to miss their two coordinators, Ben Johnson on offense and Aaron Glenn on defense, both now head coaches. Aaron Glenn in New York.
I hear you say that.
No, but hold on, because I looked at it. And here, let me make my second point. And what I also learned last night is that Ben Johnson is definitely going to miss Jamar Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tom Laporta, and the kicker, and the O-line. Because if he's trying to do what he did in Detroit, it's not going to happen. He's got to put the pieces there, and that's going to be a build. You know what I mean? Now, if he gets to build it to fruition, how long is his contract? 5 years? So he got a 5-year plan? Okay. By year 3 or year 4, Ben Johnson should be making noise with this team. But I think it's going to be 2 years of growing pain to get it to where he needs it to be. But some of the potential is there. I think the big issue is whether him and Caleb Williams could survive. Because I don't know. Williams at quarterback. I don't know, boy. I don't know.
I think it's a work in progress. I think they're going to be all right. I just give him the time. You know, just listening to the conversations that we've been having the last couple of days is we're expecting too much in the first game of the season. I remember a Dallas team went 0-2 and won the Super Bowl. Things, let's get it, you know.
That would be 1993 after the Emmitt Smith holdout.
Yes, I know you been. I just was feeding your ego just now, bro.
You said it before I could, you know what I mean?
Cowboy ego. Yeah. But so I'm taking the words that you said earlier, 3 to 4 games before I make any analysis on the league itself.
I think that goes for the league now too, like you said. And I was just referring to the Cowboys when I made that reference, but I think it needs to go to the NFL because
when I look at our Guardian picks and I see that some people get 15-1, come on. They must be picking the uniform.
AI.
Yeah, maybe so.
No, but I'll be honest. You just keep eye on the Guardian. You have some people that break out like Barasco the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to the end, you know, they're not there. Last year wasn't a great year for me, but like the year before, I finished second. And like I said, I didn't start off hot, but boy, did I finish strong. And over the last 3 weeks, I had a couple of 15-1s and 14-2s that put me over. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and you got to know the teams. And if you're basing the first couple of weeks on what you know from last year, you could be fooled because some of these the dynamics of some of these teams have changed.
Yep, I agree.
And like Minnesota, I think that he had a little shaky start last night because he's a rookie, but O'Connell is a quarterback coach. I think you got Sam Darnold 2.0 right there in J.J. McCarthy. You might have a little stronger arm. When Addison comes back, they can open up that offense. Minnesota may not be a pushover again this year. You know, they might be a tough out.
They may be a tough out from what I saw yesterday too. And like I say, it's game 1, first game of the season. You got 16 more to play.
But if they could stay out there and continue to run the football with Aaron Jones and Mason, I think that's going to be a scary team in Minnesota if you have to play them.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Again, in week 5, we could have 2 hamstrings, a suspension, and there they are, 0-4.
Yep.
So you got to keep an eye out. But I do think there's more parity in the league this year. Every year it seems to get closer and closer between the bad teams and the good teams. And you always have 1 or 2 top tier teams.
You're kind of seeing the salary cap at work.
Correct. All right, let's get today in sports history out of the way. And then we could get the home court taken care of, get to the break. And on the flip side of the break, we'll get into who's in and who's out. Brought to you by Tropical Gyros. And, of course, we'll get into our picks. And, of course, we'll line something up for you at the end, courtesy of Rich Eisen or Colin Cowherd or Nick Wright. But right now, though, we're looking at today in sports history. Brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And on this day, September 9th, 1898, in Omaha, New England, Tommy Fleming of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, won the first log rolling championship. Yeah, log rolling. 1950, Sal McGlee of the New York Yankees the New York Giants pitched a 4th consecutive shutout Only 4 other pitchers in the National League had ever accomplished this feat. 1965, Sandy Koufax of the Los Angeles Dodgers pitched the 8th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. Sandy Koufax was a good one, boy.
He was great. I think that him and Kershaw are the 2 greatest left-handers in Dodger history.
Yep. He's up there. The 2 of them. You could argue that, Purdy. That's a good argument.
That's a good argument amongst Dodger fans.
That's something that, write it down. That's something that we need to do on the press box on a Sunday in the off season when there's no football and no baseball and it's the dog days with no sports.
That sounds like a plan to me.
That would be a good debate. 1971, Gordie Howe of the Detroit Red Wings retired from the NHL. 1979, Tracy Austin at 16 became the youngest player to win the U.S. Open women's tennis title. 1984, Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears broke Jim Brown's combined yardage record when he reached 15,517 yards. 1987, Nolan Ryan of the Houston Astros got his 4,500th career strikeout. 1992, Robin Yount became the 17th Major League Baseball player to reach 3,000 hits. He was another good one with the Milwaukee Brewers, bro. Pearly.
I'm here.
You remember Robin Yount?
I remember Robin Yount. I remember him.
He was a good one,
Yeah.
You know who kind of reminds me of Robin Yount? The kid from Kansas City.
Bobby Witt?
Yes.
Okay.
He don't remind you of Robin Yount when he played shortstop?
And because of the hue, but you know who really kind of reminds me, with far more speed, though? The kid from the shortstop from Cincinnati. They're tall alike and everything.
De La Cruz.
That's that he don't have the speed De La Cruz got.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Robin Yount was what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, they're about the same height.
Yeah, but that's 3 good ones we just called right there, though. Bobby Witt Jr., Eddie De La Cruz, and Robin Yount.
I want Chris to keep this piece. When De La Cruz rookie contract will run out, don't be surprised if he don't be a Dodger.
A New York Yankee, papi, because we got the Latino connection. See, you got the wrong connection. You got the cartel Mexican connection, pero mira, New York, we got the Cubans, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, El Salvadorians. Más sabor, papi. Take it easy.
Listen,
2 times.
excuse me, my starting center field is Cubano. My starting right field is Dominican. I do have some, I have
one phone call to ICE and you got an outfield problem.
Say that again?
One telephone call to ICE and you have an outfield problem.
One telephone call ICE and I lose my whole team.
Your whole team. Don't play with me, Pearly. I can make it happen. Don't do it.
But I have an international team. I've got Dominicans, I've got Cubans, I got Venezuelans, I got Japanese, I got Koreans, I got Americans, I got black and white Americans. I got a good cross section of players in LA.
Yeah, but we call it ICE for you. That's what we can do. You stay right there. All right, let's keep it moving.
If you call ICE, half the 3/4 of the major leagues go home.
All.
Well, maybe I got it.
Jazz will be doing clinics at Freedom Farm and JBLN on the weekend. 1994 Los Angeles prosecutors.
We're talking about that. You know what is a sad thing to see? I don't know if this is one called it a sad thing, but there's not enough African Americans playing baseball.
They did studies on that, Pearly. And, they try to base it on the fact that there's not enough, African American males in the home and so on and so forth. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Baseball is a great sport, but baseball has become very expensive at the youth level. And you have coaches, locally and internationally, turning it into a money-making endeavor, which obviously if you're coaching and you can make money off your efforts, I understand that. I applaud that. But do it with some modicum of decency. And I think that the problem in baseball is these kids have been priced out. Even middle-class kids in America have been priced out of the travel ball teams and so on and so forth. The price of bats and gloves are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And clinics and showcases and this and that. And it's all money-making mechanisms because little Billy could be hot shot at 10U and at 12U. He might be all of 4 foot nothing. Right?
Yeah.
But if Billy don't grow, Billy got a problem. And Mikey, who was playing right field all his life because, oh, that's just Mikey. Put him out there. I don't want to spend no time working with Mikey. Mikey had a growth spurt over the summer. Now Mikey tickling 6 foot at the age of 11. Guess who everybody looking at when they come to look at people?
Yeah.
They're looking at Mikey because
You know,
they can't coach what Mikey got. Genes. And size. They could add to that size. You know what I mean?
Yes, and Greg Burrows once said that to me. Size and speed you can't teach. You can teach them to catch. You can teach them to bat. But if they got speed and they got size, then they start looking at them a lot more than they look at the little small kid.
So you got to take all things into that, man.
I agree.
1994, Los Angeles prosecutors announced that they would not seek the death penalty against O.J. Simpson. 1998, the New York Yankees officially clinched the American League East title. It was their earliest in AL history. The Yankees ended the season 20 and a half games ahead of second-place Boston. 2001, Barry Bonds of San Francisco hit 3 home runs to give him 63 for the season. Now, back to the point about why there's not enough African-American youth in baseball. Let me wrap that up and put that all together. And it's kind of minorities as well, too, in America right now and on the travel ball circuit. Things are getting priced out. You know what I mean, Pearly? They're just pricing the kids out.
You got a lot of black Americans playing football, and that's more expensive than anything else.
Because now you have park and rec clubs that you could go to that provide them with helmets, provide them with pads, because the city is making the investment in those communities, because those teams have been part of the park and rec league.
All right,
yes.
so Cuba.
So if you got the Chippenham Conks and they've been around forever, they know they coming out to play, and they're going to play the White Grove Whiteys, and then they can play. If they got Redskins, we got the White Grove Whiteys.
Down Bombers.
Like that, correct. So they know that these teams are coming into the league, and they know that Coach Thompson deals with Chippenham, and Coach Z deals with the White Grove, and so. And they know that we've allocated 50 helmets, 50 pads, 50 cleats, and you coach the boys up and get them ready to play.
Yeah, but all right.
And all they have to do is sign a waiver and pay a minimal fee and show up to the league. Now, all the leagues in the States, you look at them, a lot of them are funded by the state, by the city, or by the town, or by the county.
Okay. I got
Over here, you got leagues we pay $200, $275, $300.
Let's look at Cuba. Every time on field, Chippenhams in Cuba, the Bean Downs, the Groves, they all got to.
Mira, Mr. Thompson. Let me tell you one word about Cuba, why that happens. Communism. Everybody gonna get something. Everybody gonna get some. We don't do that in the Bahamas.
Okay.
There's too much politics over here. No, we don't. Over there in Cuba, if everybody knows that baseball is a national sport, every town, every little place, everybody playing baseball. And everybody trying to produce the next great one. Same thing in the Dominican Republic. And the levels and the methods that these kids practice at, using a slingshot to shoot a bear top to a kid who's hitting with a mop stick. And they're hitting that. So why do you think Ellie De La Cruz does what he does when he gets to the show with proper equipment? Because he learned with garbage.
Point.
And he worked with a coach that made sure the budget stretched for the whole team. Not a coach who made sure his pocket was stretched first and then, the scraps for the team.
Point.
We do a lot of things wrong here, and we got a lot of talent that gets overlooked. Curry favoriting. But when they get on the flip side over across the waters, and the playing field is leveled, you see, like my grandpa used to say, Lord bless the dead, K.M. Thompson, when the feed leave you, the breeding take over.
You got a point there.
So, I'm vocal because I see the amount of talent we have with kids in this country who could play multiple sports disciplines. That's why we need a proper national sports academy and get these kids scholarships. And not just the traditional track and field, baseball, basketball, soccer. We got football now. We got rowing. We got crew. We got cycling. We got archery. We got equestrian. All of that's happening here in these schools now. In addition to that, they're bringing back netball, which is good for the girls who didn't want to play basketball. But we got a plethora of sports going on.
I like to see the pros.
I like sailing, the way they're doing it on multiple levels with the sailing. Remember the sailors, whenever they come on and talk, that the youth programs are very important, that they're teaching them from the A class to B class to C class to E and F. So that's what we got to look at. But the problem is funding and money and funding, Pearly. The easiest sport to do right now, as far as money goes, is two sports. Soccer, because you need a pair of socks and a pair of cleats. Outside of that, any shorts and T-shirt will work.
Yeah.
Basketball, same thing. Good pair of sneakers and a ball. Any short or T-shirt will work.
Yeah. Boss, come here, because I think speed that we, as athletic as Bahamians are, and as fast as we are, we should be really good at lacrosse.
Minnesota really rubbed off on you, didn't it?
No, lacrosse is not huge in Minnesota. Lacrosse is huge in the Northeast, in Rhode Island.
But you know what I think works too, Pearly? Other sports that we should look at enhancing is boxing at the younger level because they need the assistance. Add wrestling to the program as well. You know how many little dudes around here would be great wrestlers?
Yeah, but their problem is they think a figure four leg lock is legal.
No, but you teach them the right Greco-Roman wrestling, they can get scholarships. They can represent the country in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to look at ways for these kids to have opportunities, man. And it can't just be the same old. Track and field, this and that. You got to be able to push it. And I still applaud track and field, and I still support it. And we got great track and fielders. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying that's always what comes to mind when we think of funding.
Yeah.
And we got to get more creative with corporate Bahamas, get them involved. So, you got partnerships. Every time you sell this item at your drive-through window, 5 cents goes to Team Bahamas.
Yeah.
And you do it a year or two out from when the event is, and money is raised.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this first break. Flip side of the break, we'll get into the who's in and who's out, all brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. We're wrapping up the home court, all brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau and Today in Sports History. All right, and on the flip side, we'll get into, like I said, who's in and who's out. We'll touch Major League Baseball, we'll touch the NBA, the WNBA, college football, and we'll talk NFL, and we'll get you ready for our picks. And, of course, we'll have a final 15 for you today coming up as well, so keep it right where you got it. The Tuesday, September to this.
Everything and me are weird and not see the hard work and me do for me career, but them a wonder how me things them severe. Them want kill me for the carry me a steer, but me heart no dirty, me heart clean like the water from the stream.
You know that one sandwich that's lived in your head rent-free? It's back! The crispy barbecue bacon sandwich craving is real, and it's making everything crunch. KFC's bringing all the flavor you love with barbecue sauce, crispy onions, cheddar, bacon, and a juicy extra-large filet, all on a buttery toasted brioche bun. It's messy, it's mouth-watering, it's made to crunch. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place, is your place.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you on it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it? Every day them see me out the road and me a flat.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, September 9th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and company right up until 6 p.m. Early Pearl in the building. We'll get to our picks in short order. We got a couple of callers on the line. Let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Naughty, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Well, listen, you came up with a good one. Then we get in the World Series and we playing them boys next year. Call the chief, tell him get them guys over in Los Angeles, especially when we two up. Pull that ice trick and we
on Purdy, right? And the whole Dodger whole Dodger lineup going.
Yes, tell the chief get his ice guys on the road.
We're gonna make baseball great again with the Yankee championship. All right.
Gotta get them Yankees back.
Yes, indeed. I agree.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
Good to hear from you, man. Be safe. Take care. Let's get to the other call. Talking Heads.
Yeah, brothers. There you have it. There you have it. 2 comeback games back to back. A Sunday night football game, a Monday night football game.
I told you Minnesota was going to win that game.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, he looked a little good and didn't do that. They score on offense and on defense. They had a pick 6. But pretty, like I told you last week, I saying, yeah, the fella win 14 games and y'all gave it to Sam Donald. They're looking for it, y'all get. That's what y'all looking for. After this fella scored the 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, I say, yeah, I see why y'all get rid of it. He going to Seattle now. But he almost win against the 49ers, though. He almost win. He only had that fumble. But play right now, Tyree Hill all over the news, man, on every station. These fellas, them so stupid. They know these women, them money and married in them for the money.
And 1 second, Muff, just for context, if you're wondering what Muff is talking about, Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill, I think he was arrested today for domestic violence, correct?
Yeah, well, he ain't arrested yet, but she putting out the charges into the war.
All right, charges have been filed
against
Tyreek Hill for domestic violence.
Right, and he have a prenup, so she ain't getting no money. So like his lawyers, them saying she got to make up these things now so she could sue him. But then only 17 months, he got to get married in 2023. Man, these women them only want y'all money and days, man. What y'all getting married to them for? Y'all got to evaluate these women them. All right, then let me let someone else get it because the time almost gone.
Yes, Muff. Appreciate the call.
I love it. I love it.
Muff breaking it down, man, Birdie.
Real dogs.
But at the end of the day, I think that situation that Tyreek was in, that got off to a rocky start. Last year, they had some issues. And you talk about prenups and non-prenups, you know who I pray for every day? Travis Hunter of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, but him and that girl was dating all through high school, I think. So
Stop!
That's a new
Colorado
one.
thing. That's a Colorado Buffalo thing, mate.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I tell you got to pray for Travis Hunter, boy. And you see he showed up for game 1 of the NFL season with his haircut, with a fresh fade, no more dreadlocks. Looked like Donatello from the Ninja Turtles.
He got him to do that.
No, he did that on his own. He did that on his own. He said he wanted to start fresh. You know who made him do that, man? Coach Prime made him do that. You know he got a call from Coach Prime? Go cut them dreads off and, go with a fresh fade, and you know how we do it. You're in the pros now.
So. Probably so.
He's like another son to Dion right there. Speaking of the Sanders, I think it's garbage what they're doing in Cleveland. I think at some point, Shador needs to get that number 2 spot. Dylan Gabriel is not the answer there. All right? But the good thing about it is, Flacco got a year, maybe 2. But if they want to move on from Flacco, they have an open camp battle next year. Shador could outright beat Dylan Gabriel, and then there you have him. He's starting in the NFL. Very interesting, though. He's got the number 4 jersey in the NFL, and he's on the inactive list every week. Yeah.
He'll be there. I think.
Now you see why the NFL got to pay him $14 million.
Yeah, I think by mid-season, he'll be there.
Because I don't know if Flacco's going to hold up. Flacco took a couple of hits yesterday from Cincinnati. And now Cincinnati, so just imagine when he goes up against the Baltimores and the Pittsburghs and the tough teams in that division with tough defensive fronts.
Exactly. That's the point I'm raising.
So we'll see. Any Tua?
He is calling for Tua's head, and Miami is calling for Daniel's head.
Or two.
Yeah. But the bottom
and you know who looked good in the preseason for Pittsburgh, and I bet y'all had him now, is Skylar Thompson.
No, don't worry about that. That's like you say, preseason.
Yeah, but you're all in the situation. And you know when I think back, Pearly, y'all have really bungled all them draft picks y'all had over the couple of years. Me and you've been talking about these draft picks back in the day, over the last 3-4 years, because you all made some good trades and had a bunch of draft picks. What have you all done with them?
Nothing. Greer has to go. I've been calling for his head for a while, but Greer has to go. You're not going to lose. Tua's not going anywhere because it'll cost you $79 million to get rid of Tua. So don't even think about that. Keep that out your head for now. If we were to cut Tua today, or at the end of the season, that'll be a $79 million salary cap. And what you do is you ain't gonna get nobody. So you might as well ride it out and hope he improves, but get rid of McDaniels and maybe get a coach who could coach him up to be a better quarterback. Because he does have talent. Credit where credit is due. He doesn't. I don't just think Daniels is not the coach.
I mean, when you look at Tua over the years, wasn't he one of the most accurate passes in the NFL a year or two ago with like quarterback rating as far as like accuracy?
Yeah, 2 years ago he was number 3 and number 4 in the NFL. He put up the numbers. I just think it's the coaching. He's not motivating anybody, and I thought we had the coach, but I was wrong. I was wrong.
He look a little lost. I don't know what's going on with him now. I think he might be better as a coordinator than a head coach.
Yes, you're right.
Like I look at Eberflus in Dallas, he's a better coordinator than a head coach. He could coach my defense any day of the week. He can't be the head coach of my team.
Yeah, I don't think McDaniels can control the locker room. I don't think he has the leadership. I think he can sit there, analyze offense, and come to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything else. I think he could do a good job at that. But as the head coach of the Dolphins, he's not the answer.
All right, Pearly, we got to get to the picks. We got to go with today. We got that WNBA, a ton of games in the WNBA tonight with playoff ramifications. All right. We got the Lynx 35-9 on the road against the Indiana Fever. Give me the Lynx in this one. They're not sitting anybody. They're a 1.5-point favorite. I think they get it done tonight.
I like the Lynx tonight, too, and I'll take them with the points.
You got the Aces 28-14 at home taking on the Chicago Sky and your girl Angel Reese. The Aces are in the playoff hunt. They started off slow. They've been winning late. I think they continue their playoff march and try to win as many games going into the playoffs and be on a win streak and have some momentum going in. So I like the Aces at home tonight.
They got a 16.5-point favorites. I like them.
I like them in the money line.
Yeah, I like him. You know, I wouldn't even be afraid to take him in the points the way that Sky been playing, but I'm going to bet that Angel gets me another double-double tonight.
She's about the only bright spot on that Sky team all year long.
Consistent.
Averaging a double-double. Can't take it from her. Sparks on the road against the Mercury. Sparks 20-22. Mercury 27-15. Both teams playing for the Sparks trying to get into the playoffs. The Mercury playing for positioning. The Mercury been surprisingly good all season long. They're 7.5 points favorites at home. I'm going to go with the Mercury and the money line simply because they're at home, and both of these teams have been playing at a high level over the last couple of games. So take nothing from the Sparks. I got to roll with the Mercury just right now. I think they're a better team.
I'll take the Sparks and the plus 7.5.
That might turn out good for you. All right, we got the Valkyries 23-19, the surprise of the WNBA season, an expansion team, the Golden State Valkyries 23-19, playoff bound against the Seattle Storm 22-21. Seattle's a 6.5-point favorite.
I'll take the Storm in the minus 6.5.
And another good one in this one is 152.5. The over is looking good in this one as well, too. Play it safe. Just take the over.
That's a little high. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Storm averaging close to 80 points a game. Valkyrie in the same thing. So they need 75 each, and it goes over. Okay. So look at it like that. All right, Pearly, we got to get to the break, and we got the first.
Did we do the Mystics and the Liberty? Did we do the Mystics and the Liberty?
Oh, my apologies. I missed that one. Mystics and the Liberty. You give me the Liberty in that one. 25-17, trying to make a playoff push. Mystics 16-27, free falling. Give me the Liberty in this one, in the money line to be safe.
I'll take the Liberty in the money line too, because they've been so inconsistent. Sometimes you think they'll blow you out the next time they play crappy. So I'll take them in the money line tonight.
There you have it. Good stuff. We got the first Colin Cowherd, Herd's Hierarchy, coming off of week 1 of the NFL season. He's going to break down his top 10 NFL teams. So listen out for that. And we'll do it all again tomorrow right here on Talking Heads. Yours truly, along with Mary Jane, will be in on Wednesday for the Open Line Wednesday edition. Pearlie will be in on Thursday. And then MJ and I will be back for Weekend Review on Friday. And don't forget to join Pearlie and myself each and every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio for the Press Box as we talk sports each and every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Good stuff, Pearlie. I appreciate you. We'll do it again tomorrow, my brother.
All right, brother. Take time.
Mr. Producer, good stuff. We'll get to the break. Flip side of the break. Colin Cowherd taking us home. Keep it right where you got it. Talking Heads continues right after this.
Surely can go best already and him have a next one. I know nothing that if you not have one. Your friend get a youth already know him get a next. I know nothing that if you not get one. Go look at your and child build a foundation. Bad mind for them before the next generation.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
Don't settle for ordinary when you can have the Farmhouse King only at Burger King Nassau. It's back! Sink your teeth into 100% flame-grilled beef, stacked with crisp bacon, melty American cheese, crispy onions, a fried egg, and the bold sauce that adds the perfect kick for a flavor sensation fit for a king. Grab the Farmhouse King as a combo with fries and a drink, or go all in with the Farmhouse King's Feast. It's bigger, it's better, and it's only at Burger King Nassau.
Ooh, it's close up. If you set people's teeth on edge every time you step on the brakes, it's time you visit Muffler World on Mackey Street. They can take your brake rotors off, and if there's anything left, machine them shiny. Then their technicians will install new pads, and before you know it, you'll be able to stop without people calling social service on you. They're trying to hit my car. Children in the car. Muffler World can replace the whole package, including hoses, master cylinders, and more. For first-class brake work, stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street. Open Saturdays 8 till noon.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading coast to coast, putting more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds a disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it.
Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content.
Here we go, hour 2. It is a Tuesday. We are live. It's the Herd wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. A lot of choices out there. Nick Wright in 5 minutes. It was a wild Sunday night, Bills-Ravens. A wild and unexpected Monday night where J.J. McCarthy pivoted from terrified to terrific over the course of a quarter. Very surprising, J-Mac, but I thought this weekend told us one thing. Coaching matters when you look at the regression of the Lions, when you look at the improvement in a quarter by J.J. McCarthy. So, I mean, we've always known coaching matters. Coordinating matters almost as much, and sometimes with a quarterback, even more.
Yeah, totally.
Here we go. Herd hierarchy. Our first in-season herd hierarchy.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin.
I'm going to put the Vikings in. I think they're going to look more like the fourth quarter than the first three with J.J. McCarthy's growth and confidence. Listen, Kevin O'Connell was head coach of the year in 2024. GM and Kevin got extensions. Flores, in my opinion, the best defensive coordinator. Listen, that start on Monday was the first competitive football J.J. McCarthy had played in 600 days. It took a couple of quarters to shake the rust off. Christian Darrisaw, the great left tackle, is coming back soon. I like their roster. I like them organizationally. I think after Kansas City, there's an argument it's the best coaching staff in the league. I have the Vikings at 10.
Number 9.
Tampa Bay. Yes, Baker Mayfield. They've won 7 of their last 8 regular season games. And remember, going to a division rival, Atlanta, is a tough ask. And they didn't have Tristan Wirfs, their best offensive lineman. They didn't have wide receiver Chris Godwin. And Ime Udoka is going to be a star as a rookie. So Baker's not only got Mike Evans, now he's got a sensational rookie. Again, I think as long as you have Baker and Todd Bowles, the complement of a confident high-end quarterback and an excellent defensive mind in a pretty weak division, I have the Bucs in my top 10 here at 9.
Number 8.
The Commanders didn't score a lot, but 432 yards of offense. Deebo Samuel, we said he's a great chess piece, was used efficiently, led the team in receiving yards in his debut. We know Terry McLaurin's going to get better week after week. And no defense allowed fewer points in week 1. They spent some money on it. The Giants, there were no crevices to run between the tackles. They were 5-1 in games decided by 3 or less. So we know that.
Number 7.
The Chiefs. Then it gets real tight. Listen, they were 0 for 7 on third down in the first half against the Chargers. They had a bad first quarter. The receiving room right now, Worthy's hurt. Rashee Rice out for 6 games. They're still reworking the offensive line. I think they'll be fine. I think they're a playoff team, but they're going to, we said going into it, okay, they'd won 17 straight one-score games. If they could go 8-3 this year in one-score games, it would be phenomenal. But they're a home dog against the Eagles and should be. So they're going to be fine. They got to get the receiving room right. They looked a little out of sorts early, but after the first quarter, they were fine. Chiefs at 7.
Number 6.
And Chargers at 6. I do think Justin Herbert, Joe Alt played left tackle, was really good. Didn't allow any pressures. That was great news. And Jim Harbaugh is also 6-0 in week 1. So this was not an easy game for the Chiefs to go to Brazil. I think the Chargers in 7 or 8 weeks and the Chiefs in 7 or 8 weeks, if they met again, it's a very close coin flip game. I think these are very even teams. Kansas City's obviously dominated this division. But in the second half, Justin Herbert, one thing that's worrisome for the Chiefs, he was 13-16. And the Chiefs, I mean, Keenan Allen, 33. Why is he getting 7 catches? I thought there were too many Charger receivers, the weakness of their team, open. I have them at 6.
Number 5.
Rams at 5. They got to keep Puka Nacua healthy, and the O-line worries me, but they've won 6 straight regular season games when starters are actually playing, and they've held opponents under 10 points in 4 straight games when the starters are playing. I believe their defensive line and their defense as a whole could be the best in the league right now. Because a lot of these good teams like the Bills and the Ravens, they gave up a lot of yards on the back end. They're young. They were the least penalized team. Stafford was the highest rated quarterback in week 1. Strong argument. The best coach in the NFL is Sean McVay. I have the Rams at 5.
Number 4.
Ravens. Should have won the game if Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. Their last 3 drives, they have 17 total yards. It's a little bit of a problem. Zay Flowers, I thought, was outstanding. Had his best game as a pro. I love everything about Baltimore outside of the fact that they get these big leads and lose them. And I do think some of this is when you dominate a team for 2.5, 3 quarters, it's hard to convince pro athletes, all gas, no brakes. Here they come. It's not college football. Everybody can play with everybody. Ravens still at 4.
Number 3.
Buffalo a notch ahead at 3. What concerns me about Buffalo, the back end of their defense. Their offense got 500 yards. Josh Allen sacked only once. I mean, that Buffalo O-line, we don't talk a lot about it. Fewest sacks allowed last year. They don't allow a lot of pressure. And if they did, Josh Allen can evade it. Now, they're going to face 6 straight teams with losing records, so they're going to go on a bit of a roll here. But that defense on the back end, it is a problem. And that Sean McDermott Derrick Henry broke into the secondary and was running away from secondary members who were smaller and should be faster. So they're going to lose some games they should win because of the back end of that defense. I have them at 3.
Number 2.
Philadelphia, 17-1 since week 5 last season. And I know you're saying, how can they be at 2? Listen, Dallas showed they're a little vulnerable. Now, Jalen Carter will come back. I don't think he's going to get suspended. I could be wrong if that just came out. A.J. Brown worries me. Only 1 target. I sense a little drama. Hyper-aggressive GM Howie Roseman made another move today. 6 trades since the start of August. And number 1 is...
Number 1.
I thought the most complete team I saw was Green Bay. Jeff Hafley is a stud as defensive coordinator. Micah only played 45% of the snaps, already has an impact. I don't see the weakness. Does this team ever miss on tight end and wide receiver and quarterback draft picks? Ever? Everybody can play. And for the record, Jordan Love, you may want to look this up. Jordan Love's last 8 regular season games, 11 touchdowns, no picks, and a 109 passer rating. Coaching, elite. Protection, elite. Run game, elite. Quarterback playing elite. Wide receiver, tight end talent, good and getting better. And Micah Parsons opens up lanes and space for everybody else. I said I have a right to overreact in week 1. Packers blew me away. I haven't seen them play that kind of aggressive defense. That was Kansas City defense. That was Philadelphia defense. They were playing with their chest out. There you go, J-Mac.
Am I allowed to ask where the Jets are? Because they were so good.
I have Seattle at 11.
The same Seattle that lost to the Niners?
If Darnold doesn't bump into a line, Francisco 12. But remember, Seattle is healthier going forward. I have to consider everything. Okay. Brock Purdy may not play in week 2.
Are the Chiefs there on reputation? Let's be real.
No.
They did not look good.
Mahomes looked unbelievable.
That's it. One guy.
They also have the best staff in the league.
Spagnuolo did not look good. I mean, he got carved up by Herbert on that final drive.
I think one of the things that's really troubling if you're a Chicago Bears fan is, did you see the Detroit Lions offense? That was the number 1 offense in the NFL. Did you see it against Green Bay? They averaged 3.8 yards a play. They could not move the ball. They could not score a touchdown. And Micah Parsons only played 45% of the snaps. So the Lions offense against the Packers was abysmal. It's the first time it's been bad in 3 years. It's the first time they haven't had Ben Johnson. Also, Ben Johnson was able on script to create the Bears scoring a touchdown on the first drive. They didn't do that all of last season. Also, Ben Johnson got Tyson Bagent in the preseason to have a 107 passer rating. Lions, Tyson Bagent, first drive. If there's a struggle here, it's not Ben Johnson. Here's one of the things that would really concern me. I went and looked this morning. Caleb Williams last year and Caleb Williams against the Minnesota Vikings. And again, he's got moments. He's got that throw to Rome Odunze last season and this season. Last season and yesterday. He's the same cornerback. Is even Ben Johnson met his match? His numbers last night are his numbers last year. There was one throw in particular that really would trouble me. It was fourth quarter, 2:32 left. Now, they scored eventually on this drive, but it wasted 30 seconds. He misses a layup, and I mean he misses it by 8 yards. And that's what worries the receivers. This had a Justin Fields feel to it, where you're like, dude, there's people there. They're open. You're not seeing it. And when you do, you're about 55% on getting it there. So there is an analytic, that is called expected completion percentage. So the passes, after everybody watches film, that you should complete. I don't buy into all the analytics, but it's an interesting one. Caleb, after last night, dead last, minus 13%. So he should have completed at least 13% more of his passes. So Ben Johnson is scheming Jared Goff open. Yeah, Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Should they really lead the number one offense in the NFL? Shouldn't it be like Josh Allen all the time? Or Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry? I mean, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, a 4th-round pick, and I like Jared Goff. They shouldn't be the NFL's number one offense. They were. Tyson Bagent. You ever think Tyson Bagent was going to look that good like he did in preseason? So my takeaway is we've got an elite coach. But for that number to come out, tied for the lowest expected completion percentage, that's not good. That's an analytic that people inside